Have you ever played Silksong and thought, geez, this game isn't hard enough? Well, do I have the solution for you, my friend? All you simply have to do is avoid using the main attack, which is Pogo. If you've never played Silksong, allow me to demonstrate what Pogo is. Allow me to paint a picture for you all. Imagine 100 deaths in. I didn't give up, I didn't surrender, and I didn't do a single downward pogo strike. Yet, one widow still twitching at the end, probably wondering what cosmic joke had just been played on her. If you're curious how sheer unadulterated stubbornness can somehow outmaneuver intricate boss choreography, then trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for this. Alright, let's talk Silksong. Especially, let's talk about the downward pogo strike. If you've ever dipped your toes into the world of Hornet, you know the pogo striking isn't just a move, it's the very heartbeat of the game. It's that fundamental, almost instinctual bounce off an enemy's head or strategically placed spell that lets you stay airborne, repetition, avoid damage, and keeping the pressure on. It's how you dance through the chaotic encounters, turning threats into platforms, gravity into advantage. It's what makes the combat sing. So naturally, I looked at this absolute core mechanic, and then I looked at the Black Widow boss, a creature practically designed as a pogo playground, and I thought, what if I just didn't? That's right. I challenged the one boss practically screaming for aerial acrobatics and swore off the bounce entirely. No aerial off silk, no accidental hops, no bouncing off of bells that just happen to be in my way. Nothing, just raw footwork, precise dodging, and the desperate, foolish hope that the widow's 8 legs would move slower than my rapidly escalating panic. Spoiler alert, because we're friends here, they absolutely, unequivocally do not. Pogoing isn't some flashy, high-level tech you pull out for style points. It's deeper than that. It is the game's quiet assumption, woven into its very fabric of its design. Think about it. Enemies' backs, those strategically placed bells, even the silk thread Widow herself spins. They're all coded trampolines. They are there, silently inviting you to bounce, to extend your airtime, and to gain the angle. They are an integral part of the combat language, a fundamental aspect of how Hornet interacts with the world and its dangers. Let's be honest, the Black Widow isn't just any boss. She's a masterclass in aggressive multi-layered attacks, and she's practically adept at exploiting any hesitation or misstep. Phase 1 in theory feels almost fair. She dashes, she swipes, she tosses a bell or two, you can mostly dodge and get your hits in. But the moment you chip her down around 70% health, that illusion of fairness shatters. The arena, which a moment ago felt almost manageable, suddenly floods with these infuriating rubber projectiles that never settle down. They bounce, they roll, they carome off the walls and the ceilings, creating a unpredictable, chaotic maelstrom. The game, which normally feels like a fluid aerial ballet, suddenly grounds you, making movement heavy, deliberate, and terrifyingly vulnerable. Hey folks, Happy Nerd here, the Marine. Please hit that like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 5K. Once I hit 5K, who knows? Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Who wants a free game? Raise your hand in the comment section below. Thank you, and God bless. If the nail clings off of anything mid-air, reset. No exceptions, no oopsie, almost a pogo, just a hard stop. My first attempt at the Widow fight under these stressful rules lasted a glorious 12 seconds. She dashed, I jumped to avoid a bell ricocheted up from the ground right in my path. Reflex sling. Cling! Normally, this is where Pogo shines. You'd be bouncing off those bells, riding the chaos, using them to stay airborne and rain down nail hits while the floor below you is essentially lava. It's a brilliant design, turning hazard into opportunity. But without pogos, these balls transform into literal landmines. They bounce you directly into spikes and into Widow's next attack. Or just another bell, creating a deadly ping pong machine with Widow as the helpless ball. Your primary means of navigation and offense is now your greatest enemy. The only safe headspace during some of these attacks, the only place you really could breathe and consider your next move, is quite literally head height. And how do you typically get there? Offensive pressure while avoiding ground-based rhythm attacks? Well, you guessed it, by pogoing, but I couldn't. My safe headspace wasn't up in the air, strategically positioned by a counter attack. My safe headspace was the exit gate, a desperate fantasy. Every fiber of my being wanted to break the rule, to just bounce once. I resisted. It was agony. The death montage wasn't just a collection of failures, it was a slow, agonizing education in persistence. It looked something like this: caught by a silk thread, swept, fell to the face, panic healed, hit the leg, stagger off the platform, respawn. The counter just kept climbing. Each death was a fresh stab of frustration, a reminder of the self-imposed torment. Attempt number 45 saw me swapping to the defender's crest, clinging on the misguided notion that some passive chip damage might somehow save me, might be the tiny edge I needed. It wasn't. Each agonizing death did, however, teach me a micro lesson. Stand there, dodge there, don't stand over here. During that attack, I learned the precise timing for dodging her dashes, the exact pixel where I needed to be to avoid her bell's trajectory. But micro lessons, as I painfully discovered, don't beat macro designs. They chipped away the edge of the problem, but they don't address the core fundamental conflict of fighting a pogo-centric box without pogoing. This wasn't about improv anymore. It was about choreography. I repeated to the training grounds, or rather I just kept resetting the fight. I practiced the loop over and over and over again until my thumbs memorized the rhythm, until the sequence of inputs became an unconscious reflex. It was less about thinking and more about feeling and precise timing. Each dash, each jump, each strike had to be enriched into my muscle memory with precise and master artisan repetition until the impossible becomes second nature. It was grueling, monotonous work, but at the end, each successful clean loop, that impossible seemed just a tiny bit so. 100, maybe 200 at this point. The number felt heavy, etched into my very soul. By this point, there were no nerves left, just a deep, abiding exhaustion and callousness on my thumb that could rival a seasoned guitarist. The fight opened, and this time it was perfect. It was executed flawlessly, baiting her, dashing, precise. The silk wave triggered exactly where I needed it. Vault, strike, dash, out. Clean, precise. It was beautiful. The loop repeated like 100 more times. My palms were wet, slick with the sweat, but the controller wasn't mine anymore. It was an extension of my will, a conduit of pure, unthinking execution. My focus was absolute, a tunnel vision that blotted out everything but Hornet, Widow, and the dance. Each movement flowed into the next, relentless, unforgiving rhythm. The final cycle, Widow at one mast, teetering on the brink. The bells surround her like a final desperate shield. I was mid-air, having just landed one of the last strikes. The silk thread faded, and the final, almost chaotic shudder. She collapsed. I landed clean, my thumb hovering over the attack button, but I pressed nothing. I just let the kill banner bloom across the screen. A silent, beautiful testament to my perseverance. Time, 4 minutes and 12 seconds. No aerial clings, no accidental pogo, and frankly, absolutely no dignity left. Just a faint, metallic smell of sweet, sweet victory. So, if you want to see more of my ridiculously crazy hard challenge for Silksong, check out my community post. And the one with the most upvotes, that's the one we're gonna do. So, hope to see you there, and please hit that like and subscribe. Pogoing is the language of Silksong. It's the expressive way the game encourages you to interact with its challenges. For this fight, I chose to stay mute, to communicate only through precise footwork and calculated strikes. And somehow I finished the conversation. Widow's legs are now crossed out on my boss tracking sheet. A stark reminder that limitations aren't always brick walls. Sometimes they are just invitations, worded a little rudely. I found a new path. Next time the bells start bouncing, next time an enemy bays for a head bounce, I'll probably go back to defying gravity. Old habits, after all, die hard. But for now, this run, one gleaming, utter, stubborn run, I beat Silksong's Black Widow boss without a single pogo strike, and if that doesn't prove that obsession, pure, unadulterated obsession, can beat talent, can beat design, can beat logic, well, I don't know what else does. Hit that like and subscribe for me, will you? I'll see you on the next one. God bless.